Hi, welcome at the very last part of the tutorial series. I'm glad you made it this far. In this final video we're going to quickly finish the case, attach the timing belt, and we're going to paint the Nintendo logo and put it on there. Then I'm going to take you to the computer and we are going to install the Retropie software and the Python script, and this is for the automatic cover of course. And when this is all done, we're finally going to enjoy and test our really cool retro gaming station. Let's go! Let's install the timing belt now. We need to cut it to a length of approximately 20.5 centimeters, like this. And we need to punch a small hole in both sides. I'm going to use a regular punch and I'm going to torch it flaming hot. You can do it in many other ways, but I just like playing with fire. So instead of the belt clamp I put in the parts list in the first video, I'm going to change it for an ordinary nut and bolt, because it's just easier and it looks better and it's easier to adjust. So let's attach it to the pulley. And I also changed the 5mm pulley. I pulled it back out and I changed it for a 4mm one. It is just better with the timing belt. Let's test now if the timing belt is, well, timed correctly. Let's turn the Nintendo on. There's a pre-installed SD card already inside. Now it needs to open. Yes. It's going very slowly and it's not opening all the way. I'm not sure why. It's not slipping or anything. Let's test it again. It is closing a little bit. Okay. It's opening. Well, actually it is working, but it's not correct yet. But we can easily fix this in our Python script, so we will take care of this later. Let's screw the top and the bottom part together. We're going to use 5 screws. They're all 4mm, but 4 are the same length, and the middle one is 40mm long. Now this is all done, and we're going to stick some foot pads or feet, rubber feet on the bottom. I'm going to use 4 and I'm not sticking them over the holes. You can actually do it, but it's easier to place them aside the holes so you can open and close the cover later. Second one. All done. Perfect. Steady and feels great. We're going to clean up the 4 white caps and glue them on the top part. And don't use too much glue, because then the cover will not open again. Let's install the rails. Don't glue it, just press it on. And now it's time to choose which logo we want. I have a black and a white one. They're both the same. And I have some paint. This is some red paint for the white logo and silver paint for the black one. Let's start with red. Shake it a little bit. Let's put a little bit on the paper. We just need a little bit, and I bought a small roller. I'm applying a little bit of paint on it, like this. Just a little bit, but all the way, and then very gently apply some paint on the white logo. Very gently, not too much. Just like this. So the logos are done, and now we need to choose which one we are going to use. And I already used the black one with silver paint on my first Nintendo, so now we will take the white one with the red paint, the original Nintendo colors, and glue it onto the cover. Yay! The hard work is done. We are finished building the Nintendo. Finally, the Nintendo is finished and it looks and feels absolutely great, very rigid, and all we need to do now is install and configure all the software. Let's do this now. Let's get our 8 GB SD card, put it inside the adapter, put the adapter in another adapter and in the computer. And there it is. And before we start, we need to format the SD card. And we're using a very cool program which is called SD Formatter. I'm using version 4. It's a handy tool and it works perfect. Okay, press OK. Zop. All the way down. Perfect. Okay, we need some sort of image, and I prepared one for you. And you can download it if you go to one of the videos and click on the correct link. It's down here like this, and if you click on it you will go to a Dropbox link like this, and you can download the image, and you need an 8 GB micro SD card for it. Let's unzip it. So, it's unzipped. Now we're going to use Win32 Disk Imager. Don't forget to run as administrator and put the image file on the micro SD card. There's the image file, click on it, open and press write. This will take a while. In the meantime, I'm going to show you my GitHub repository, and here you can find all the individual parts. You can download the zip file to get all the parts, but I'm going to show you the 2 Python scripts I designed. This is the ordinary script, or the old script, and it had some problems with the lid opening and closing, as you can see on the small video. So I changed the stepper range a little bit, and I made some other changes to the LEDs, and I put it in a new file which is called Nin10do.py. And as you can see now, the cover is opening really smoothly and a little bit faster. I changed some of the LEDs. It's perfect. So in the image file I already installed a new Python script for you. Now it's finally time to insert the SD card in our Nintendo. Let's turn it and get the SD card in. Like this. Snap it in place. And we will connect the Nintendo to our screen. This is the HDMI cable. Then we take the DC power plug. Oh, and also don't forget to attach an Ethernet cable as well. Let's start the Nintendo for the first time. Push the on button. And then everything is pre-configured already for you, so you don't have any boot text. You see the splash screen and it boots right into Emulation Station, which is pretty cool. Cover is opening smoothly, LEDs are blinking. Perfect. And there we are, Emulation Station. Let's check the cover. The button. It's actually better than the first one I built. Keep it this way. Now let's insert a wireless keyboard. Just like this. Hi. Shooting the last part of the tutorial series proves to be a lot more difficult, because screen capturing a PC is not a problem at all, but screen capturing a Nintendo is a lot more difficult. I cannot film my monitor with the camera. It turns out that you guys are getting a lot of flickering and blurry images. It looks terrible. You cannot even see what I'm doing. So yesterday I ordered this device. It's by AVR Media and it's called the LGP Lite, which is a HDMI capturing device. So I already tested it and it works perfect. So now you guys can actually see what we're going to do, which is great. So let's continue with the last bits. There we are in Emulation Station. I think this is so cool. You can see all the consoles you can think of. SCUM for adventure games, Amiga, Apple II. And there are no games installed yet. If you press the plus key, you go to the menu. And if you press backspace, you go back. And if you press enter, you press OK or enter. And let's configure a controller now. This is a Super Nintendo controller. Let's see if it's working. Up, down, left, right, A, B, start, select, page up, page down, OK, and it's working perfectly. Let's press F4 and enter to quit Emulation Station. And here we are in the terminal, because we need to install some games. There are no games installed yet, so we cannot see all the emulators. But first I'm going to quickly show you around. Let's press LS, you see all the folders here. And we are going to the Nintendo or Nin10do folder. And here you can see the two Python scripts, the shutdown check setup script and the splash Nintendo screen, the JPEG. If you want to edit the Nintendo Python script, and this is the script of course that opening and closing the cover, you can do it here. You can see the full script. If you want to change some parts, it's pretty well commented, and it runs in the background and it uses interrupts for button presses. And if you go to rc.local, here we are in the rc.local file, and here you can see the two lines we added. This is the shutdown check setup and the other one is the Python script, and don't forget the ampersand sign, because otherwise it will not run in the background. Let's quickly take a look at the boot folder or boot directory. And there are two files that are important, and we're going to open the first one, and this is the config.txt. And inside this file you can really easy set your overscan. And in my case I need to put it at -32 because I have really big black borders. But it might be in your case that it needs to be +16, but you need to experiment with it. So you can set it here if you want, or you can enable disable overscan. And the other file we need to take a look at is the command.cfg file. I think it's called, should I know, command line cfg. No. Why not? Oh, it's txt. It's command line.txt. Sorry. And there it is. And here I removed a small bit of code, which is the TTI console 1 line of code, and this helps you hide all the boot text when the Nintendo is starting up. Now let's type in startx. And here we are in the graphical interface. Let's open the File Explorer and put in a USB stick. Like this. There's our USB stick. And we installed a few games on the stick just to test our consoles and our different emulators. And at the left I'm at the Retropie ROMs directory, and I'm just copying the games to the correct folder. So here I have a very cool Dangerous Dave game, which is a PC game or a DOS game. And I'm just putting the complete folder inside the PC, where is it? PC folder. And here I have a Super Nintendo game. And we're finished. Let's get back to Emulation Station. Sorry, I'm getting tired. Emulation Station. Loading, and we're back in Emulation Station. And now we can actually see that we have a lot more emulators. This is the Atari 2600. We installed Asteroid on it. Super Nintendo with Aladdin. What else do we got? MAME, Sega Master System. And this is the Nintendo 8-bit with Mario. Let's play a little Mario. I mean, we need to test our rig, right? One player. And there we are. This is so cool. Let's get the Toad. Let's test this if all the controls are working. Quick, quick. There we are. Going really smooth and perfect. And we didn't overclock the Pi yet, so this is already running great. Yay! 4 coins and firework. I'm not exactly sure what the firework is doing. Anyhow, so this is working, and I'm going to show you really quickly what you can do in the Retropie setup. This is the Retropie menu, and here you have a lot of cool options, and this makes life a lot easier. You can go to the Retropie setup, or you can go to the Raspberry Pi configuration tool, or Raspberry config, as we all know it. Let's do this now. And there we can overclock the Pi to the Pi 2 mode. Like this. And now we need to reset. Okay, don't forget that your cover is still open. And if you're resetting the system, it stays open. But I will tell you directly that it will not damage the cover or whatsoever. It works perfect. Let's wait. It's loading. Now the stepper motor is turning, but nothing is happening. So it will not damage your Pi. So even if you close it when there are controllers attached or whatever, don't worry, it will not harm the Nintendo. And here we are back again. Let's go back to the Retropie menu. Here we can configure our Wi-Fi if we like. I didn't install a Wi-Fi adapter in this Nintendo, but you can if you want. And we can configure the RetroArch joysticks here, and I already did mine, of course. And finally, it's time to load as much games into the Nintendo as we can find, connect it to our big-ass TV, get a beer, and play some great retro games. Please like, subscribe and comment if you enjoyed the project. You can find me at Facebook or Twitter. Happy gaming. See ya!
Soul making, sound shaking, earth quaking.